For the longest time in my life, I felt so much and I felt so intensely for as far back as I can remember. And this intensity of me feeling the way I feel about things around me always came in the way of me being able to participate in the normal life, the normal motions of life that I saw everyone around me being able to participate in. And it still comes in the way. To this day, it is an effort to go out. It is an effort to participate in life as regular, normal people are expected to. Effortlessly at that. And I have always recognized this extreme intensity of emotion that I have as something that is an illness. It should be diagnosed and corrected. A lot of the times I have seen people around me do certain things very casually and be very okay with certain aspects of the world, which completely distressed me and made me feel hopeless about the world and made me feel revolted, like the world is not supposed to be like this. This is not supposed to happen. But everybody was okay with that. And this always came in the way of me being normal. And I always looked at it as some wound inside me that needs to be corrected. Something is wrong within me, which is why I am not able to be okay with things that most of the world is okay with. And this needs to be corrected by means of psychotherapy. I should be okay. If I see dysfunction around me, if I see things that I identify as dysfunctional or unfair or wrong, I should still be okay because the rest of the world is also seeing those same things and they are okay with it. So because the rest of the world is okay with something, I should be okay with it too, and I shouldn't feel so much. And if I do feel so much, it definitely is a result of some medical condition that needs to be corrected. This is the template that I have followed for most of my life about who I am and what I should be. And this is also the template that ended up causing a lot of pain and a lot of shame. Because anytime somebody tried to get close to me, I felt like, but I have this injury in my being. I have this wound in my being. My being is not healthy. And I don't want anybody to know. I don't want anybody to know that something about me is wrong. And I have recently begun to realize that this is such a wrong way to look at the world. A person who feels less, a person who doesn't feel as much, naturally doesn't feel as much, is not going around telling themselves that something must be deeply wrong with me. That is the reason I am able to see so much dysfunction and I am able to participate in dysfunction as well, and I am still able to sleep like a child. That person is not going around questioning their sanity because they feel less, because they are able to be okay with dysfunction. And you, when you feel too much, and you react too strongly to something that you perceive as dysfunction, are expected to constantly question your sanity and are expected to put up with the judgment that comes to you from other people because of your tendency to not be okay with things that you don't find okay, that you don't find functional. So this is a reminder to everyone who feels too much. You have to stop looking at it as a disease and maybe look at it as a blessing. In a world where a lot of people have numbed themselves and have checked out, and they made this choice to check out much earlier during the course of their lives, perhaps when they were children, because they realized that if you don't check out, the cruelty will drive you insane. The kind of stuff, the kind of hypocrisy that you see in the world will drive you insane. So they check out and they choose to make themselves numb. And you didn't. And one of the reasons that you do not tend to participate in that same kind of dysfunction might just be the fact that you still see it as dysfunction. Just because the world around you has normalized something that should not be normal doesn't mean that it is actually normal or it is actually not harmful and you have to participate in it too. I would just like to mention a quote that I read from this German psychologist, I believe, Erich Fromm, and he said something to the effect of, just because a million people share the same vices, those vices do not become virtues. So the fact that some of those vices still look like vices to you means that there is something inside you that is still alive, that refuses to die. And I wish for all of you that you take this as a blessing instead of taking it as a curse. You are still alive, and that is incredible in a world that functions on people being complicit in each other's exploitation. Keep the fire burning within you. And I have a feeling that when we die, when we are no longer in this world, when we look back at our lives from the other side, we will be so proud, the ones who didn't let the fire within them die, because that fire was causing pain. Yes, the fire sometimes causes pain, and it makes it more difficult for you to exist in this world and do things that are very normal, participate in normal activities. That happens, and it can feel like a burden, but it is an indication of the fact that you're alive. Your brain is alive, your conscience is alive. Keep it alive. Keep it alive. Nobody is going to tell you that. People are going to call you dramatic. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you problematic. Be alive, because I think when we are done with this life and when we look at ourselves from the other side, it's not going to matter how many people didn't call us problematic or how many people didn't call us dramatic. It's going to matter that we were alive until our very last breath. So please respect the fire within you. Take it as a blessing that that fire still exists, and do everything you can to protect it. It's a blessing that you feel so much. Thank you. I would just like